Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present this podcast to you in all its glory. They are the bearded wonders, the twin sons from different mothers. He is Blake, he is Sal, and together they are the Blake and Sal Show. And if you're not okay with that, I have 2 words for you. Stay tuned.
So Saturday morning, we get up early.
Yes.
We hit the road. We grab Kyle.
Boom.
We get in the car.
Boom, boom.
We stop. We get some caffeine, and we get on the road. We get there. I bring Kyle into the conversation. You walked in. This is your first con, official Comic-Con.
Yeah.
What do you think of the atmosphere?
Interesting. So I can't really expound on that.
Well, try to explain yourself.
Well, I was kind of prepared for it when PonyCon and that. But yeah, a lot of the cosplay was great, especially the Lady Captain Planet.
True. And you were talking about that at one of the panels you were at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I got a sticker from her honorary Planeteer.
that is cool.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
Wow. If I have to say this, that if fans who watch The Big Bang Theory, and I'm not basically...
we'll get to that in a minute. I have written down for talking about him.
Yeah,
in a minute.
we'll
talk about him in a minute because he's in one of the panels. We'll get there.
Right.
Before we get to that, I wanted to take a walk around, and one thing you actually brought up on night 1, and I'll let you talk about it here on day 2, was this. You can talk about this.
Yeah.
And I actually we'll throw it to an interview, but tell us about what you found out at the end of the Bellas panel when we were leaving.
When we were exiting, there was something that caught my attention, and it was a booth where they were promoting a comic that basically faces on the first autistic superhero in comics. And the character's name is Focus. And what happens is basically there are a group of people behind this that basically create this character and storylines, and there are autistic people that are doing the drawing and designs, and also coming up with the storylines and the story, and it's all monitored by medical people. And to me, this is great because kids, even young people on the autism spectrum, can take a look at this and be amazed and surprised of what people on the autism spectrum can do. And I'm telling you, the artistry in this comic is phenomenal. The way the stories are great and solid. The characters are there, and they rely on each other for the story. So, I mean, this is great. And I spoke briefly with the gentleman and lady that were at that booth, and this is, what they're trying to put out, so that way people that have special needs can understand that there is a hero for them.
So we will actually. I actually talked to Doug Kingberg, who was the guy you talked to.
Yep.
And I talked to him on Saturday morning,
Yep.
and for a couple of minutes, and I put the video immediately on our Facebook page, just so everyone knows. There's a video
Right.
where he actually showed illustrations from the book in the video.
Right.
About 2 minutes. So I'm going to throw that audio right here.
Well, I'm Doug Hebert. I'm the main artist for Focus Comic here. We've got 16 variant covers in Focus Comic. This is the first issue. Focus is the first autistic superhero. He is, it's all about representing, getting autism awareness out there and acceptance. And we thought that comic books was a good way to do that. A superhero like Focus. He's a disco ball guy, but underneath he's human, and his main power is his autism. He can predict the future based on probability. So we've got, like I say, 16 variant covers, a very good story, very good, we've got a mix of a bunch of different artists. This is Yvonne Wan, the creator over here of Focus. She wrote the story. She also did a lot of the variant covers. We've got autistic interns that we have every year.
That's really cool.
And one of my interns drew this cover. Very complex cover. He's a very talented kid. He also drew this in here, and I want to show this to everybody. It's a very, very cool one. My favorite of his, which just blew me away.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, the guy is just a natural. So, like I say, I had a couple of interns. We have 2 interns every year, and we want to move it into the second issue. We want to keep this comic book going, bring it into the mainstream, and get autism more accepted rather than
Absolutely
afraid of, which a lot of people apparently are. I'm a K through 8 art teachers.
understandable.
So it's all about acceptance. It's all about, just getting the word out there and getting the information out there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. You can get this comic at forcecomic.com. It's only 1 issue, but it's like 12 variant covers.
Right.
And the cool part was I picked this up. I paid $15 for the autograph issue. All money went to autism awareness.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
Thankfully, it wasn't Autism Speaks.
No, not autism speaks, but autism awareness. Very cool. And I haven't had a chance to look through it yet. But that is pretty cool.
But I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But what intrigued me, apparently Tony Todd, he's an actor. He's probably best known for playing Ben in the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead and the freaking Candyman, is a sponsor of the project and actually lent his likeness to one of the characters.
Very cool. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
And coming from the other side of a father and a grandfather that has a son and grandson there on the autism spectrum, to see something like this, it just makes me proud that there is someone that basically is having a type of comic and storyline that can reach out to kids and young people on the autism spectrum and realize is that if you can focus and basically do on things that pique your interest, like some people do Legos, some do writing stories, some do artistic work and creative work, then tap into those resources and don't let anything stop you, because the only thing stopping you from doing more is yourself. So this is something for people on the autism spectrum to believe in.
Very true.
Now, you remember Deadpool 2, and you remember the little kid, Fire Fist?
Yeah.
And he's, so why aren't you going to become a superhero? To which he just says, "You ever see a fat superhero?"
Well, see, there you go.
Now all we need is just one of those, and not one as the butt of a joke, but one as an actual hero.
I know what you're saying. Well, we'll see how it works. So, we'll segue back to Deadpool in a minute. We get back over here. I've got a couple things down here. So the first panel that I wanted to jump over to, but I wasn't on the main stage, on the second stage. There's all audio of this, obviously, because it was a smaller panel.
Right.
It was called Meet the R2 Builders, where they were literally showing you computer graphics on how they built R2-D2. And it was really fun because they were controlling R2 from the computer,
right,
and they're illustrating all these little details. It was really a lot of fun to watch for a little while. I was standing there. It was actually pretty cool.
Was the person chasing the little droid on
that was different. No, I'll tell you about that. I'll tell you all about that in one second.
Are you talking about the BB-8?
No, that was different. I know exactly what kind I was talking about.
All right.
The 501st Legion was there.
Right.
They're the big Star Wars people that are based in Chicago.
Right.
And they come to everything in the Midwest, and sometimes obviously Star Wars stuff, but I always see them at Midwest stuff.
Yep.
Never actually had a chance to go talk to them. Finally got talking to them on Saturday, and they're really nice people. I can put pictures with a bunch of their characters.
Right.
But what Kyle's talking about, they had a droid with them that was remote controlled that they were literally torturing people with on purpose, messing with people with. So that's what you were seeing.
Yeah.
Was that thing that was running around?
Yeah.
Was one of their droids that they just kept deciding to mess with people and run around the convention hall.
Yeah.
They were doing that all afternoon.
Was that their way of getting people's attention?
Yeah, I think so, and it worked.
Actually, you know what the 501st reminds me of?
What?
That group of Halo cosplayers at PonyCon who had Halo suits that looked like
you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember their names offhand.
But it's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But with the R2 builders, they also said that they go to places where, like children's hospitals and things of that nature, to basically bring up the spirits of the children that are in the hospitals that don't get a chance to get out and interact with public. So I thought it was good that they're doing this, and the way they put R2 together, all that was in the panel, and they showed images on the screen. And
I liked it. I really liked it. I got pictures of that. There is no audio of that because I left the audio recorder with you in the main hall for our first panel of the morning. Yep. That was the Evolution of Thanos with Jim Starlin and Ron Lim, hosted by Angelique Roque. And this was good. This is a good panel. I really enjoyed this panel. We'll talk about the panel in a second. I'll throw it to the audio again, courtesy of Ace Universe.
I'm Angelique Roche, and I will be one of the people on stage today, but I will be a moderator for several panels, and I am really excited about this first panel that we are about to get into this morning. How are y'all? I think I woke up a little bit more. I don't even have to ask you to do that again. So this morning, I don't know if y'all have heard of a little villain that's from Marvel called Thanos. No? It's always like a 50-50. People love Thanos, people hate Thanos, people love to hate Thanos. But this morning I'm really, really excited because we are going to have two of the masterminds, and one in particular who is responsible for the creation of Thanos, coming to the stage to talk about the evolution of the character from comic books onto the screen. I would like to welcome to the stage creator of Thanos, Jim Starlin, and one of the masterminds behind how the look of Thanos was in comics, Ron Lim. They promised me they'd dance onto stage. You're welcome.
It's going to be one of those panels, sorry. I apologize ahead of time.
There's at least a 10 for me. Thank you for the dance. Now you get to coffee, which means you'll be dancing even more later. So welcome. Thank you for being here bright and early as our first panel this morning.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start out the gate. We're just gonna go straight for it. Thanos. He's a villain. He's in love. At least I think he's a villain. He may not be a villain. I don't know. You've heard of this guy. But a lot of people don't know that you came up with the idea, Jim, of Thanos in your psychology class. Can you give us a little bit more of an insight into the inspiration behind Thanos himself? And when you thought of the character, did you really think they would have the longevity that is had in comics to this day?
I was in junior college. We had a guest lecturer come in to talk about Freudian concepts. He hit on Thanos and Eros, the dark and light side of human nature. I thought it was a cool idea. Of course, I got latched onto the dark side, and took me 40-some-odd years to come back around to do something with Eros, but we're working on that now. Basically, no, I had no idea that he would last anywhere near this long or go to where he is. When we started, basically comics could blow the socks off movies as far as special effects. We could draw anything, and they couldn't film anything other than flying saucers on wires and stuff like that. So I just figured, for the most of his life, he was a cult character. I was sort of a cult character also, working in the business and getting fired or quitting all the time. So basically, we went on for a long time, and then Josh Whedon decided to put him in the movies, and Thanos has become a superstar, and I've become part of his entourage.
Not a bad entourage to be in.
No, but we keep getting shot at.
So, Ron, while you weren't on Thanos from the beginning, you've worked together several times with Jim, and primarily being focused with your work on cosmic titles, have really specialized in that. A lot of people don't understand when it comes to comics. True comic book believers do, but comic books are more than just the writing. Comic books are the environment, it's the movement, it's how the characters are portrayed. What were your goals in carrying on the Mad Titan's legacy and the world around him when you had the opportunity to work together with Jim?
Well, I grew up reading Jim stuff, so his biggest inspiration, so being able to work with him was awesome. So I was stoked when he came on board Surfer. I was like, yeah. And then they announced, my editor said, hey, we're going to bring back Thanos with Jim. I'm like, what? So it was kind of a dream for me. But in terms of goals, I just wanted to make sure I told the story as well as I could for Jim, and kind of channel him through my art in a way. So I wanted to make sure it kind of gelled together, So that was it.
You did a great job at it, too, because I've worked mostly with Bernie Wrightson and Ron in collaboration. And when Bernie gave me something, it was never what I envisioned, but it always worked in the story. Ron always gave me almost exactly what I envisioned because we have such a similar art style.
And that's really interesting. A lot of folks